Hi, my name is Lauren Johnson, and I'm a transfer student, a sophomore from the Bridge program at Tri-County Tech. My new student dialogue workshop took place about a month or so ago, on Tuesday, October 22nd at 7 p.m. It did, in fact, last the whole 2 hours. The topic of my workshop was on gender roles and equality versus equity. This was not my first choice for the workshop, but because of my busy schedule, I had to compromise on the choices. But I did gain some insight on the topic being discussed. The purpose of our workshop was to understand the various perceptions that students may have about gender roles present in the world and the workforce, as well as to raise awareness of possible discrimination that can or may be happening in the workforce today. A large part of our discussion was also about equality and equity, which can be found anywhere also, and we came to the conclusion that we would rather have equity to make us more comfortable rather than having equality. I feel like my group partially achieved true dialogue as our discussion progressed throughout the workshop. At the beginning of the workshop, we came in and sat down in a circle, which was kind of awkward at first. Well, mostly the whole time, and we introduced ourselves. And then our facilitators made us popcorn read the objectives and goals of the workshop that were to be discussed. And of course, nobody wanted to read the goals, so our room was in silence for a good amount of time before people would start to volunteer. But as our workshop continued, the discussion picked up and everybody participated in one way or another throughout the night. The dynamics of our group was pretty split up equally. There were about the same amount of females and males, probably a few more girls than guys, but that doesn't make much of a difference. There were definitely more active voices than others in our group. There were people who would voluntarily answer the questions, and there were also people who did not want to speak up at all and give their opinion. My role, I was somewhere in between. Like, if I was asked a question, I had no problem answering it, and I volunteered to read during the popcorn reading, so that would go by faster, and yeah. As part of our discussion, we had a lot of small group interaction. We would have like 2 to 3 people in a group, and we would discuss with each other what was to be discussed. And then after we came to a conclusion in our small group, we would discuss our views and our opinions of gender roles and the equality and equity of a certain situation, and share it with the larger group, and we would debate whether or not we agreed or disagreed with each other. For example, just an example, we were told to give gender roles of male and female, like in the household. Some people would say, the male was head of the house and the female was more of, the caretaker. But I didn't really agree with this, so I didn't have an opinion on that. I think the dialogue component of I think the dialogue is a component of the CU 1000 course, because it brings a group of students together and it forces you to interact on a debatable topic. It allows you to get insight on what other people may or may not think about a certain topic. And this dialogue also allows us to see certain perspectives present that pertain to certain topics. Overall, the discussion, it went pretty well. I think we achieved a good amount of discussion by the end of the night. And by the end of the night, everybody was comfortable with each other, so that was good. And that's about all I have, so bye.